Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Naduhu wasta'inuhu wastadihi wastaghfiruhu wa uminu bihi jalla wa ala wa la akfuruhu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Arsalahu bil huda wa dinil haq liyudhhirahu ala din kulihi wa la kariha mushrikun. All praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His help, His assistance, and His guidance. We believe in Him and do not disbelieve in Him. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is His servant and messenger. Allah sent Him, that is Muhammad, with Deen al-Haq, the religion, the way, the methodology of truth. This way of life, known as Islam, will rise to its proper position in this world, whether the mushriks like it or not. The name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, by the English meaning. Do then those who devise evil plots feel secure that Allah will not cause the earth to swallow them up, or that the wrath will not seize them from directions they little perceive, or that He may not call them to account in the midst of their goings to and fro, without a chance of their frustrating Him, or that He may not call them to account by the process of slow wastage. For thy Lord is indeed full of kindness and mercy. Whether we shall show thee within thy lifetime part of what we promised them, or take to ourselves thy soul before it is all accomplished. Thy duty is to make the message reach them. It is our part to call them to account. It is our responsibility, our duty, to make the message reach them. That this is the message of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Since there won't be any prophets after Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, those guidelines that were sent to him, to Allah, is sent to the people also that's going to do the work. That's why you don't need a prophet after him, because before the prophet stuff was all mixed up, because the people would snatch it, put their hand over it, read what they want. You know, after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we got the message that he got, and we got how he acted off that message. So we got to demonstrate it. We got something that demonstrates the message. Like in the old days, you used to go, you wanted to buy a new Benz, Cadillac, you go down to the showroom, and I don't know if they still do that, but they had a demonstrator down there. You could get in it and drive it around and see how it go up hills, how it corners, all that. So you got a manual in there, an operator's manual. Tell you how to operate the car, what kind of oil, gas you put in, how often you change this and that. This is an operator's manual to teach you how to operate that machine. People that made the machine is the one that's qualified, right, to give you a manual on how to operate it. We are Allah's creation, right? He gave us a manual of life. That's what the Quran is. It's a manual of life. But He didn't leave us absent-minded to read it and get, oh, I think it meant this, no, they gave us a demonstrator. Allah gave us a demonstrator. That's what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was. He demonstrated the Quran. So you can't get up in the air and say, I don't know what it means. I don't know whether it's fard kifaya or fard ayn. Talking about jihad right now. Well, it's fard ayn. Why is it fard ayn? For me and you here? Because there's a global war against Islam. There was enough people standing up, like here in the United States, If it was enough people standing up to the monkey system here, then we could kind of take it easy, do our prayers and stuff, we'd be all right. But if it ain't nobody standing up, then everybody here is in sin, isn't that right? That's what Fard Ayn and Fard Kifaya is. So for us, me and you, we know better. So for us, it's Fard Ayn. Ain't no Fard Kifaya. Fard Ayn is something just like prayer, fasting. You got to do that. You can't take no break. I don't feel like it today. I ain't gonna pray today. No, sorry, because I got my toe hurt. I don't feel like it. It's raining outside. Right? I ain't gonna do that today. No, you got to do it. Why? Because it's Fard Ayn. Now, Fard Kifaya is something that if it's required for us to do, like jihad, but enough people is going out and doing jihad, then me and you don't have to go. Because there's plenty of people go. They're all dedicated. They need 100,000 people. They got 120,000 people at the front. We're all right. But if the front is up there, over on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and ain't nobody over there, then the whole Muslim community in the United States is in sin. But we ain't going to join the sinning crowd. Why? Because it says, see not that they gradually reduce the land in their control from its outlying borders, where Allah's command there is none to put back his command, and he is swift in calling account. Those before them did also devise plots, but in all things the master planning is Allah's. He knoweth the doings of every soul, and soon will the unbelievers know who gets home in the end. The special ayat on plan, وَمَكْرُوا وَمَكْرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ مَاكِرِينَ. They plan and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. I just did a different ayat today than the one I always like. Mighty indeed was the plots that they planned, and it was so serious that it would shake the hills. Well, we do that almost every week. You know why? Because the plots is every week. You can't sit still, listen to the radio, read the news. Okay, hence, leave me alone with such as give the lie to this title. We shall bring them low step by step without their perceiving how it has come about. For behold, though I may give them rain for a while, my subtle scheme is exceedingly firm. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Now, and ridiculed indeed were the messengers before you, but there encircled those of them who ridiculed that which they used to scoff at. So they were encircled or surrounded by the same things that they used to make fun of. So there befell them the evils of what they did, and there encircled them that which they used to scoff at. So the word hakka is he is surrounded, enclosed, hemmed in, or encircled. Yastazi'una, they scoff, deride, mock, ridicule. So now these people will be encircled, surrounded, hemmed in by the things that they make fun of. And clear will be to them the evils of which they did, and there will encircle them what they used to mock at. Now remember, we constantly talk about encirclement and suppression. That's what the government does to us. They surround us. all the time. And mocked indeed were the messengers before you, but there encircled those who jeered of them that which they had been mocking at. Say, go about in the world and see how was the end of the unbelievers. And soon you will recall what I say to you. And I entrust my affair to Allah. Verily Allah is all-seeing of his servants. So Allah saved him from the evils of which they schemed, and there encircled the people of Pharaoh and the evil punishment. Again, this one adds another word. This is dealing with the concept of tafweed. Remember, we talk about tafweed all the time. Tafweed is entrusting your affairs to Allah. And then the coupling with that is ridda, to be well pleased with Allah, what Allah sends you. Now, most of the time, you tell the truth. We're praying for stuff all the time, and we get it all. I don't know if that's, I prayed for a wife, and I wanted her to look like this and that, but she kind of talk a little. And then, I don't know. Remember one sister here, boy, she just wanted children. She was going through psychological, everything. Then Allah hooked her up. One baby come, boop. Then another, all these doggone babies. I said, well, sister, you should have prayed for self-serving babies. Allah can do anything. Babies that don't change, they change their own diapers. You know what I mean? They feed themselves. You know, you should have prayed for self-serving babies. You want to be a mother? Now Allah hooked you up. You know, that's not ridda. Ridda is whatever Allah send you. After you entrust your affairs to Allah, you're well pleased with it. That's why it says, soon you will recall what I say to you. And I entrust wa'afwidu. And I entrust my affair to Allah. Verily Allah is all-seeing of his servants. So Allah saved him from the evils of what they schemed, and there encircled or surrounded the people of Pharaoh with all kind of punishments. O you believe, if any from among you turn back from his faith, soon will Allah produce a people whom he will love as they will love him, lowly with the believers, mighty against the rejectors, fighting in the way of Allah, and never afraid of the reproaches as such as find fault. That is the grace of Allah, which he will bestow on whom he pleaseth, and Allah encompasseth all, and he knoweth all things. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين محمدين النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، يقول الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Psychological guerrilla warfare. Harass, disturb, and produce imbalance and arrogance so as to accelerate the decline of the West. What does this all mean? Well, to tell you the truth, dear believers, we had a whole new subject until last night. Watching the news, the dummy broke loose. The dummy broke loose. and people was getting a little upset. And I said, oh, no, 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 no. This is what we've been praying for. This is what we've been working for. And this is what we have been, we used to talk, ourselves and some of the other brothers here, and it was called the I'll be damned effect. That was during old George's time. And we would discuss things that this idiot would probably do if he's a bigger fool as we thought he was. And then we'd get together a few weeks later, we'd be just talking, and we said, I'll be damned. He actually did it. He actually did exactly what we was talking about. Not one time, over and over again. That's how big a fool. It's called the I'll be damned effect. That you know you're talking about there's going to be a magic balloon float by with 65 candles on it. And then you look up and say, well, I'll be damned. There's a balloon floating by with 65 candles on it. I don't know. I'll be damned. That's what we have with your dear president. This boy is the biggest fool since Leatherhead. And I know y'all young people don't know who Leatherhead was, and I won't go into it. But this boy, y'all remember the movies like Wag the Dog and all of that? Wag the Dog is a presidential option that when things are so crazy, you go start a war or do something stupid to get everybody's mind off the dumb stuff that you're doing. And I call this today's Washington Post, I call it the fitna pages. Because if you look at it, U.S. airstrikes, Syrian military airfield, Senators bars, bridge clear, such and such. One guy kicked off the committee, the other guy lost his job. Money problems, people juggling, it ain't no good news. It's the fitna pages, right? Tell the truth. And so, this man has a dilemma. His whole crew has a dilemma. And it's not a surprise to nobody because I was listening to WPFW. I happened to walk upstairs. And it was 2 hours ago. And the guy was saying to the other person, to the other Negro, it was nice to hear. Man, that Syria thing is a false flag operation, and they set that up and they did this. I said, that's wonderful. I said, we're not by ourselves. Then you hear some white folks, especially overseas, even BBC, and don't talk about RT, that's Russian television. Okay, let me try to get to the point. First, we'll talk about Syria. Now, this is Iranian-Syrian relations. This is probably about almost 35, 82, whatever that was, 35 years ago, something like that. So this is a study of Iranian and Syrian relations. And any of y'all have been in the library know we have a big book on the Islamic movement in Syria. Y'all probably seen, anybody seen the book? And we've been had it there for 10 or 15 years. When I was in Iran 2 times ago, they slid me a note in the big special committee on Syria. And they slid the Negro a note. They said, we want you to speak on Syria. I said, all these Syrians here, these Arabs, Iranians, everybody. I said, no, we want you to speak on it. You know why they want a Negro to speak on it? Because what I would say would be neutral. It would be from, if a Syrian spoke on it, This because this is our crew, we got this. If Iranians spoke on it, it's because this is what we want our national project to be, right? If it was another Arab from another country, he might be hooked up with some Ikhwani group that's against the government, or he might be with another group that's pro-government, right? And so they say, you're the only neutral guy in here. And they already know that the Negro, I know this sounds arrogant, but I'm just telling you the truth. They know that the Negro know more about what they're talking about than they do. Because we have to study the thing. They from there. And we have to go off what is really going on. Because as we say, we don't have no dog in their fight. All we want to know is what the real deal is. Now, before I get to where I'm going, you know it has to be something going on. What I'm going to say is going to shock you a little bit. No, it ain't, because we've been saying it all week, all month, for many years. Now, if this is a front page from, you can't even read that. Y'all can't read that, can you? So if they got the Negro on the front page, overseas, and a whole article, this whole lecture, that means the nigga gotta know what he's talking about. You know that. This is from Iran, it's from last year. Okay, right? So let's agree with that. They wouldn't put it on there unless he know as much about the Iranian situation as the Iranians do. And believe it or not, maybe even more. Now all the big shots, this is our dear friend. Now, we just heard that he's not going to run for president again. I mean, he job, but his vice president is going to run. The guy is his vice president. So don't worry about all the outward treatment. Our team will be back in a while. If we get in a cold shoulder, it's because you on one team, and then the other team has got the ball. So you're lucky that they remember your name, or they remember your name and then just take it off all of it. This is the last up at the UN. Now, you can check what I'm saying. Of course, this right here. There's no American that you ever seen with the rock bar. Tell the truth, you ain't seen no American with the rock bar. So something is going on. So when I tell you a certain thing or two about psychological guerrilla warfare, harass, disturb, and produce imbalance and arrogance so as to accelerate the decline of the West. Now, last week, there are people in here who remember, we had a discussion on the so-called ability to forecast when it come about, how it come about, and within a day or so we got to certain points. And the point was this: for the last 37 years, the U.S. have been hot on our case. Okay? Now, for the first 10 years of the revolution or more, we traveled around the country every day, all day. When we get back to Oakland, the Masjid we open, sometimes you have to air it out because it'd be musty. And we know that the federal government marched right along with us. And wherever we went, we were going to take him to the active Iranians, the ones that are the most active in the United States. Now remember, they got a student association all over America. So we have to make a decision. First of all, do they already know who the students are? Yes, they do. Why? Because each leader in each place, each city, I don't care whether it's Iowa, Indiana, the FBI goes by and interviews them. Sometimes they would come to their house. But in those days, they would have to bring an INS, that's an immigration officer, because the FBI in those days couldn't just show up at your house for nothing. and cause you some trouble. So they would bring an immigration officer, because these are students from overseas, and they would say, can we see your I-94? That's what they have. And then the FBI says, and by the way, since we happen to be here, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So they knew all the students, so we had to make a decision, is it more beneficial to us to go around the country and show them where the most active brothers are, or do they already know? We came to the conclusion that they already knew. And then what was the benefit? As we went to almost every city in the United States, we would also visit all of the Masjid. So like us as a newly minted, fresh out of the penitentiary, active Muslim with history in Africa and Asia and South America, all of that. But the Muslims and the Muslim issues, guess what? Within several years, we had went to literally, we knew every masjid in the United States almost. And we knew all of the issues and all of the Muslims. So it was more beneficial. Now, this issue of harassing the big white man to make him act a fool, to accelerate his decline, seems to be basically a Negro is taking acid or something. How can Negroes incite or excite the federal government, right? The United States government and all of their lackeys to act in such an accord, right, that it coincides with their own decline? Well, we happen to have a mission here. We don't have nothing. Psychological guerrilla warfare is a warfare you fight. And you don't have a whole lot to fight with, except your history, your knowledge, and all of those things. It has to be working, because after certain lectures, what did this come out? Revolution from Egypt to the Americas, Oakland and the American Islamic Revolution. Why they do that? They got Imam Jamil. Now this is theirs, Imam Luqman, and then me. We've seen this 1,000 times. I just want to show you so you'll understand what I'm getting ready to talk about. A few months ago at the UN, well, at UN Plaza, there was a meeting. And if you want to get the lowdown, you could ask the Imam over in Masjid Muhammad. Used to be a sergeant in the Power State. Used to be a sergeant in the army, right? Revolutionary sergeant. And then over at Adams, the Bangladeshi brother that's the assistant over there, right under Imam Masjid. When I go over there, Imam Masjid, I don't want to talk about these guys today, but I just have to tell you who they was. Now, at the UN, when Rouhani, the president, was there was some guys they invited from all over the world, and Syrian guys, and these old Uncle Tom Negroes here, even. So they were saying some things about Syria, about Iran, and the president is there. I jumped up. Now you can ask him over there. You can go over there and ask him. Now, did Musa really do that? He's a lie. That's a lie. That Imam be exaggerating. You go over there and ask him. Did I stand up with the president there, ambassadors from all over the globe? Hold it. That's exactly what I said now. I ain't putting up with this. I've been sitting here. I can't stand no more of this. When y'all, way back when Iran was fighting against Saddam Hussein, then you know it, y'all, all of these big Islam guys, all the big fat cats, y'all was lined up with Saudi Arabia, on and on, and I'm tired of this, and I don't want y'all opening your mouth anymore. You actually, that's what I said a few months ago at the UN Plaza. Didn't nobody open their mouth. The president just smiled when he was translating to him what I said. And all the ambassadors, especially from Iran, was my homeboys anyway. So, how can a Negro do this? He got some magic voodoo bag of dust or something he sprinkled on everybody? Okay. What I'm going to get to is, first of all, you have to understand that when Allah dispenses a mission to the people, that mission will be carried out. Now, for you and I, our problem is this. Will we be a part of it? Because remember, Anfaru, Tanfaru, go forth, whether equipped lightly or heavily, and strive and struggle in the way of Allah, with your goods and your persons. So it means go forth, whether equipped lightly or heavily. Now, the English and Arabic translation has certain things. The dictionary. That means go forward, whether you're wealthy, young, healthy, and full of vigor, or whether you kind of look chubby, old, stiff. Go forward under all conditions. Taqal means thick. So it means go forth whether thin, robust, full of fire, a little old, a little decayed, a little getting around not so good, right? And if you don't, Allah will replace you with another people. Now, replacing. Suppose you start a show dinner, you're the big quarterback, then somebody replace you. Hey, you say, yeah, well, it's about time, but you really don't like it. Right? Tell the truth. Now, look at all the Negroes that turned against the movement. The Brooklyn Imams, the New York City Imams, the Oakland Negroes, right? The coons right here. The local coons right over there at Dar Hijra, that's the same coon that was over there at Howard, yes. The wonderful programs we used to have at Howard because it's neutral. So you can get a good crowd, a thinking crowd at Howard. But if you say come over to our Masjid, I ain't going over there. But if you come into Howard, it's an intellectual environment, right? We had wonderful programs at Howard. Then the Negro eased himself in there. Jahari Abdul Malik, whatever his name was, he'd get along real good with the New York Imams. They're the same group. And then cut off all the programs. Those programs are suspicious. What's suspicious about it? They might be deviated a little. What do you mean deviated? What are you talking about? Well, there may be some sprinkles of Shiism or something in there. Some of that had to do with you. It ain't you're not the keeper of the white man or the Negro, whatever they are. Show over here, you ain't. We have an Islamic program. You don't have to interfere with those. But I am the official chaplain of Howard. After he cut off everything over there, he strolled round over to the place over there, Dar Hijra. I'm going to get to what happened there last night. I just wanted to show you these pictures because it's unbelievable what's going on. Okay, we talk about these subjects a lot. Some you hear in Khutbah. But on the subject of Syria, we have been talking about it, go and come, and very serious terms. Now, psychological guerrilla warfare is when you know you're monitored by the government and they pay very close attention to you. Remember, whatever you believe, you got to try it at least 10 times, test it to see if this is real, right? They really be listening to what I said. So you do this, you do that. That's what the book of coincidence is about. That's 10 years ago. That means this thing been on a roll. Where is it now? People overseas is listening to us more than they listen to their own people. If Russian intelligence, if every other intelligence network is paying attention to what we say, right, then the U.S. automatically got to pay attention. How do the other networks get an understanding of us? Because they monitor them, right? So the Russians going to monitor, well, who's the number one, number two, who's the top 10 hitters in the U.S.? They're going to say, well, let's see. I said, what's his batting average? They're going to go through everybody. They're going to say, this nigga here is batting 985. 985. Okay, y'all have heard all of this, but it's not sinking in right now. Remember, just think about everything we have forecasted about the system just about has happened right in front of your face. Now, you're going to think we're lying. But how are you going to encourage things to happen? Since they believe everything you say, right? You're going to say things that make them do certain things. It just so happened that what you say is the truth. Oh, now y'all not pay no attention, but when they came out with this, that was after the thing down at the demonstration that we had. We didn't want nobody to invade Libya. But we said there will be no Arab Spring. Then we laid out the whole process, step by step, of what was going to happen. That's 2011 up to now. A 5-process step. Now y'all heard it all. Can you imagine that last year they realized this nigga done out-niggered and white folks everybody. We ain't got no PhDs, we ain't got no Department of Strategic Studies, we ain't got nobody that said, y'all remember this, there will be no Arab Spring. Does anybody remember that? Anybody remember that? This is 5-6 years ago. Y'all don't remember? But we was clear. There will be no Arab Spring. Then we came through, there will be this stage. There will be the next stage. There will be the third stage. Then there will be the 4th stage, which is now. There will be a global or regional vision. Not an Iranian vision, not a Syrian vision, not an Egyptian vision, not a Yemeni vision, but it will be a regional vision. But now, who's gonna produce the environment that will bring about a regional vision? It's beyond you. You can't do it. So you have to harass them. Oh, it's getting ready. Oh, my goodness. And then they get to try to stop it. By them trying to stop it, they produce it. So Saudi Arabia goes crazy. Why the last few years they have an insane policy? Dropping oil prices in the dirt, spending billions of dollars, $4.5 billion for weapons, right? From Britain and from the U.S. To fight who? The richest Arab country in the world, to fight the poorest Arab country in the world, right? We didn't have Daesh in those days. Well, ISIL, what does ISIL have to do? ISIL have to be a protege of Saudi Arabia. They have to go around, and remember, they gave them almost the control of Iraq. They gave them the control of a lot of Syria. Right? Remember, they just drove in with brand new Toyotas. Y'all remember them white Toyotas? They just drove in, we here now. Okay? They helped every other person that wanted to fight against Syria. They gave money and they gave them everything else. Right? They put Morsi in prison in Egypt. They killed over 1,000 Ikhwanis in Egypt. Right? You got to look at what's going on. Before, it would be a national vision. We got to get ourselves together, right? But the way the fitna caused by the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Israel, a triangle of terror, right, have produced the environmental circumstances where it is not anymore a regional vision. I mean, a national problem. It is a regional problem. Therefore, you have to have a regional solution. Therefore, you have to have what we predicted, regional vision. That's happening right now. That's happening right now. Okay, Georgetown didn't say it, nobody else said it. We said it, and it's happening. Now, I'm not going to go over the one we just did a few months ago, but it said basically this. Did everything that the Zionists, the Americans, have been working against in Saudi Arabia, they produced in the Middle East. Example. After Iraq fought Iran, for 8 years, one thing Iraq had was a big army. Command and control structure. So the United States came in and tricked Saddam to go into Saudi Arabia, you know, the Gulf War, 91, da-da-da-da-da. So what, the U.S. could decapitate the army. Remember what they did? They left him in power. They didn't want to get rid of him. So maybe later on they said, well, we're going to get rid of him too, years later. Right? They decapitated the army. Why? Because the Israelis, like they bombed Iraq in 81, 82, their nuclear, because the Israelis are managing this whole program. Right? Let's keep on moving. So, the thing that they hated most was to have strong powers in that area. But what happened? You have Iraq now. Iraq was invaded in 2003, right? March 25th. But they fooled them. They lost maybe several 100,000. Some say even 1 million people was killed by the United States in Iraq. But Iraq now has an army of its own. It has semi-modern equipment. It also has a command and a control structure. It has an army, maybe not that good, but they have a command and control structure, they have modern weapons, and they have the ability to fight long-range struggles. The Israelis, when they hit the Arabs, they crumble, just like that, right? It's not possible now. You have Syria. With all of this fitna going on, you still have a Syrian army that is able to fight, command and control structure that they can fight over a long period of time because they have been. You have Iran. This is the key to the whole thing. You have the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's why no matter what happens over there, they get back to Iran, they up to something. Right? We got to finish them off. What about Iran? You ought to be over there and see the army. The army is serious. The army has fought in Afghanistan, studying the Americans. The Iranians have fought in Iraq, studying the Americans. The Iranians have been all over. Every time there's something, they in it. And this program, when I was telling you they was asking me about Syria, Saeed was saying Nasrallah wasn't there, but he gave a talk on TV. And we saw, and he said, ain't nobody gonna move on Syria. This was several years ago. We rolling with them. Yeah, whether y'all like it or not. Hezbollah joined the fray. All right. Then in recent years, Iran has joined the fray. Now what we have is a strategic alliance. Who is it? Iran, Iraq, Syria, and dear Putin. We said dear Putin. They're nice Russians. Now, you have the stupid United States of America that have been embarrassed. They thought they was going to get their way. So they told the Russians about Gaddafi. Now Russians, you know, Gaddafi helped the Negroes here. They used to call him the King of Africa. You know why? He'd go down, he acts a fool, but he'd still help you with some money. They call him the King of Africa. You need a telecommunication system in Chad. How much money you got to do it? We got $50. How much is it going to cost? 100 million. Well, I'll give you 80. You guys have to hustle the other. Actually, you don't give it all to them because them niggas ain't going to hustle with nothing. Right? So, his equipment was Soviet equipment. He was a stable country in the region. Right? Some say he had 34 billion in gold stashed out in the desert. Not paper money, gold, it's a little different. So the U.S. says, we're just going to go and just going to take care of this, that, and other. So the Russians said, okay. But the U.S. went over there and messed everything up so bad that it's unbelievable, right? So when the U.S. said, we're going to move on Syria, the Russians said, oh no, you ain't moving on nobody. Now here's the U.S. You ought to hear the white folks talking today. That message that we sent, it should scare Putin to death. Yes. You know, see, the people here, they don't study no Russian history. The U.S. in World War II, they did all right. They lost 600, I don't know how many thousand people. It wasn't a whole lot. The Russians lost 27 million people. And 80% of the Germans killed in World War II were killed by Russians. And they tell you about D-Day, June 6, 1944, the Great American Armada. And they didn't do nothing. The Russians broke the back of the Germans. The Russians broke Napoleon's back. Right? If you go back, they beat the Germans in 1257 or something. I don't know the knights. They was knights then. They called them Franks, not Germans. You know the Franks. And now you're going to shoot 2 or 3 missiles over and scatter people that's lost 27 million people in the patriotic war. And they've been struggling all the time. and you're going to scare with a couple of missiles. The strategic alliance, the Russians, Iran, Iraq, and Syria. That is what we call the strategic alliance. Before, Iran had to fight by itself. Now, it's part of a coalition. You see what I mean? So, without going into all the history, this is good for Islam. I moved water clothes. I went to bring my book back there. Have y'all ever heard of Halabja? Halabja. In Iraq. In 1988, Saddam Hussein destroyed the whole region with poison gas because of the Kurds. I'll bring the book next week. I have it down there, all the pictures, babies all over. But it wasn't no big deal because the U.S. didn't care. So if old Donald Trump say, look, did you see the little babies? This is terrible. Have y'all saw it in the films from Yemen? The little skinny children? Saudi Arabia been bombing the people for 2 years, and the babies look like those concentration camp babies. You know, where you see all their bones. That's today in Yemen. And Saudi Arabia is doing the bombing and the killing and using cluster bombs and everything else. And long as it's a U.S. ally, it's okay. You see what I mean? That's what's happening today. So when old Don, whatever his name is, jump up and say, it's the babies. Somebody made a fool out of him. I'd like to, but I told y'all now. For the last 2 years, I've been telling you, everything happened, I'm taking credit for it. Now, I know y'all know that the people here have been listening to this. I know if you never heard that before, you're going to say, boy, that boy is a crackpot. But let's go over it again. Psychological guerrilla warfare. It's a warfare that you use based on your history, your environment, and who's paying attention. Okay, if y'all was in on some of the private meetings, you would know that they've been paying attention to this masjid for a long time. Long, long time, decades and decades. Right? So now, all we got to do is, we got them on the hook. Yeah, we got the old boy on the hook. Now, we're going to reel him over here, reel him over there. You may not believe it because you think niggas ain't got no sense. We have been reeling the whole Zionist American system for years. That's what the ayat says. You're going to be hemmed in by the same thing you make fun of. So they like to tease niggas. Look at that big lip, look at that, look at that. White teeth, big old black face, stupid nigga clown. You know. So it's a fine cracker. Then you roll in and start forecasting on it. Now remember, you can use any type of black magic that you want to use. Because you're using Negroology. You don't have to use strategic white folks management, big super duper plan. You use colorism. You use, it's what God gave you, isn't that right? You gonna go fight the people with somebody else got? You gotta use what you got. So you just real old cracker in and you just hold home and you tickle him and you say, yeah, you mess with me again, sucker, this is gonna happen to you. It just so happens that every time he does something big, they steal your money, or they try to do this, that, and that. Something bad happened to them. They start to get, they don't know what's going on. This has been going on a while now. Just talking, you may not think. This has been going on a long time. And now, we want to get to the final conclusion. So we have to arrange the environmental circumstances so that he will take his military, his army, his National Security Administration, and produce the environment you want, because you ain't got nothing in your hand. You can't produce nothing, right? So the greatest level of warfare is when you get the enemy to use his own weapons on himself. And I know we'd have said that a long time. But see, maybe y'all ought to go back into biblical prophecy a little bit. The Quran mentions it, but see, now he reads the Bible a lot. Well, they don't read it, but they all used to. So they used to religious personalities coming and say, sucker, I'm tired of you. Now, if you don't do like I want, you're going to get rain, hail, hurricanes. That's the way the Bible is, isn't that right? All this is going to happen to you. Now, remember, the biblical and even Quranic style of forecasting. Suppose you tell somebody, you mess with me, you're going to have droughts, then you're going to have floods, then you're going to have hurricanes. Whether he predicted it or not, are you going to have droughts? Especially in the old days, right? Every now and then you're going to have some droughts. Then you're going to have some floods, right? Then you're going to have some serious rain and all that stuff, right? Hurricanes. So all you got to do is link up stuff that's going to happen anyway and link it to you. You mess with me, Cracker, tell me what's going to happen. You're going to have drought so bad. Happened to be from California. The drought just ended. That was a 10-year drought. They had no drought like that in hundreds of years. It was so dry. Good God Almighty. We take the credit for it. We take the credit for it. The white man don't know. We told you mess with me, you're going to have drought. Then soon, just for the drought, get ready to be over. It's got to be over sooner or later. Now, I'll mind my own business. You're going to have rains of biblical proportions. What happened right this year in California? Rains of biblical proportions. Why? Because after a serious drought, nature usually floods you to death to get you back in balance. Isn't that right? That's the same system we use with him, the white man. On this Syria, Iran, and everything, we took things that's got to happen. They happen all the time. We said, Cracker, you mess with me because the Quran tells you, traveling the earth, see what's the end of those before you. Traveling the earth that you seek knowledge. Now, don't forget what we read. That we're going to bring them, they're going to be encircled by the same thing they mocked at. Who is that? Everybody in history. The British got encircled by the same Mau and Ooga Booga people that they was laughing at. Bambata in South Africa, they cut his head off and in 1910 put it on a postage stamp. I don't know if y'all remember that. Of course you don't remember, but that's the truth. But later on, they got hemmed in by the people and the things that they made fun of. Right? Now, here we are, the Negro, in America. the most made fun of creature in America, right? So we said we're going to accept that position and we're going to study him. We're going to study the Quran. We're going to study the environment, and we're going to forecast based on those principles laid down. It just so happens that we've been right all the time. He don't know whether it's black magic. This thing about down, we engineered that. Yes, we did. Because we told the white folks, so they tell Don, them niggas said you was a sissy, that you was girlified, that you ain't gonna do nothing. And them niggas right down the street, you can throw a rock and hit them. That's what they're saying. You won't do nothing. The thing we talked about a few weeks ago was, does initiating fighting, is it better to get 1,000 people killed now and let it drag out and 100,000 people get killed later? That's what we face with when we harass the system. He's going to move. He moved in Syria last night. Is that good? Yes. It's very good. You know why? Because everybody knows a lie. Everybody knows a lie. Except the American media. But everybody else knows it was a lie. Right? Does it do America any good? Absolutely not. No good at all. You don't get nothing from it. But I said, why would this fool sit up and tell us that he ain't going to do nothing in Syria, he don't have nothing to do with Syria? Then another lucky break. This is a luckier break than the Maine blowing up, than the Mexicans in 1846 invading the USA, right? This is the greatest thing ever happened. Therefore, when you initiate something, is it better? Is it better to initiate it and get them all, and get the thing rolling so that it gives us a reason and a focus and a direction? Before closing, he did this so he can threaten China about North Korea. You know, the people are so young, they don't remember Korea. Korean War, I know y'all remember that. That war is still on the books now. They had a ceasefire at Pinmanjan, but never did they stop that war. The war is still on the books. So you think America gonna threaten China and gonna make North Korea? Let's review Korean War for about 3 minutes. They call it the 18th parallel. I think 38th parallel, 18th parallel, one of them. 38th parallel, I think. Which one? 38th parallel. Here come the North Koreans. They come down and whoop on the South Koreans. Here come the U.S. They got all the people 5 years after the war is over, they just got a little lazy. So they come over, this is 1950, and they got hooked up a little bit. Then they bring MacArthur on. You know, Doug out Doug. So Doug comes over, and they have, I think it was Busan or Incheon, one of them places. He invades, yes. And he runs straight up Korea. This is great. In 1951, they told everybody in the winter, you're going to be home by Thanksgiving. Yeah, go and look. You look on the internet, think I'm lying. By the time he got to the Yalu River, which is the Chinese border, the Chinese rushed across there. They said this is the greatest route in U.S. military history. The Chinamans run them all the way, and mixed with North Koreans here and there, ran them all the way back down to the bottom of Korea. Yes, they did. And whooped them so bad that they don't have a peace treaty. They have a ceasefire. You think the U.S. talking all that jive want to mess with North Korea? North Korea ain't got no food and ain't got no cars or nothing. All it's got is an army. Right? And you think you're going to pet them? The U.S. is stupid. And the Chinaman sitting there grinning, oh, so yes. We want y'all to do this. Just a minute, boss man. Don't you owe us $2-3 trillion? Yeah! What the hell are you talking about then? You want us to do this? Is this a new world where the one that owed the poor folks go tell the one that you didn't borrow $3 trillion from me, and now you're going to tell me what to do? This is different. Altogether different, isn't that right? I move toward a close. Brothers and sisters, the world is headed our way. You have to study, you have to keep up this wag the dog syndrome. These invasions and re-invasions are all because of Islam. There's a global war against Islam, and we're winning. We're winning that war. That don't mean we're automatically going to win, but we're winning that war. We're fighting a defensive, counteroffensive type war, but it is a global war. And just like everybody in the United States and all around the sissified world is against us, this masjid here, so is all the handkerchief-headed Muslims around the world against this coalition. But the coalition is winning. And as time goes on, history shows that people are beginning to flow in our direction. Like I said, the Negro knows, hey man, that's a false flag operation. Right? So, we want us to play our part. There's people in the room that could tell you, all these immigrants always hated independent Muslims. Yeah. No, especially niggas. Niggas ain't gonna run nothing. That's what they're saying. Right? Isn't that the way Ahmed Saka and them thought about the Islamic Party? Yeah, they thought a bunch of niggas. You can't have no party. Then I think the brothers talked about Hezbollah, the party of God. How come we can't have a party? The Quran got a party. Then they mad. The thing that's important about this whole thing today, Allah brought us up out of slavery, Jim Crow, hanging and being shot day and night, and then we come to Islam. The other people can be all the punks they want. I'm grateful to be a Muslim, and I hope we all do. If just the people in this room mobilize themselves, that's a big enough fight. There's enough people in this room to take care of most of the work here. Yeah. Don't believe in all of it. Take hundreds and thousands. No. It take a core group of people that's locked on. They lock on. Now I'll close with this. It's called lock on and lock out. That's why if you notice in the last year we have only deviated 4, 5, 6 subjects, maybe. That's because that's what life is all about right now. So if we lock to this mission, the Quranic mission. Just look in the Quran and whatever you come up with as a mission, say this is our mission. Lock on to that and lock out all of them other people. Remember, on the day of judgment, them niggas, Arabs, and other people ain't gonna be able to do nothing for you or against you, right? That's why the writings say that if true belief is when you realize, you believe that everything that was meant to miss you, gonna miss you. That's all. I don't care what they line up, cite you, target you, don't make no. If it's meant to miss you, it's gonna miss you. That's belief. But if it's something meant to hit you, I don't care how deep you go in the ground, how high you go, it's gonna hit you, isn't that right? Therefore, lock on to good. So that you don't develop, you know, what goes around comes around, they always say, so you don't develop that karma. But you don't want to develop no emotional ties, behavioral realities, ties to fitness so that you put out something stupid so as things cycle around, the stupid stuff comes to you, right? So you develop a character of putting out good. At all times, that means that good may come to you. You don't know from who or from where, but it'll come to you. But whatever bad was meant to hit you, it's going to hit you. But if you change your thinking that all fitna is good, all fitna is good, you cut the hands of your enemy. They can't do nothing to you, because whatever you do, Sam, go ahead and do it. I'm going to turn that into good. It don't make no difference what you do. You're going to get comfortable, not comfortable, but you're going to get relaxed, because you're not going to be afraid of. You're not going to sit up in the house at the Masjid, I hope the white man don't do this. I hope the Jews don't do that. We don't do that. They call us and threaten us, and I'm really close. We're going to do this. So you're our account. Well, do it then. Hurry up. Don't call me telling me just get busy. That's our approach. Can't nobody do nothing to you. Right? Why? Because on the day of judgment, they're going to be hollering and turning flips themselves. They can't help you. Right? And they can't hurt you. Oh Allah, we seek thy refuge from anxiety and grief. We seek thy refuge from lack of strength and laziness. We seek thy refuge from cowardice and niggardliness. We seek thy refuge from being overpowered by debt and the oppression of men. O Allah, suffice us with what is lawful, keep from us what is prohibited. With thy grace, make us free from one of what is besides thee. Ameen.